disadvantage that that opponent has, again, having to work with, you know, quarter zones and playing at the top of the board, that allows Star to make sure they can kind of close things out and send enough garbage to secure that top out. But if they're unable to do so, and BUNCLEBOI is able to work around this cheese a little bit more freely, I think that that's going to be in BUNCLEBOI's favor. You can see a little bit, unfortunately, Star as well already changing columns a little bit. And multiple times, unfortunately, this is really bad RNG for Star.
Pretty high from
and has managed to work around it. There's also a little bit of odd cheese there for BUNCLEBOI as well, so not really the kindest start to our losers quarters matches.
Okay, to play it, start the zone now.
BUNCLEBOI's gonna have to, okay, trying to rotate, full vault a little bit, get some more pieces over the top. As much as the lines can have outside the zone, but in true Star fashion, a 55 Perfectress, and with BUNCLEBOI's zone not getting anywhere close to that extremely strong zone from Star ending at around the same time as BUNCLEBOI is going to lead to a 1-0 Star lead.
Whoa, what is that? Whoa, what is that? What is that opening? What is that opening from BUNCLEBOI?
I think it was TKI, but just misdropped the one of the pieces on top, I believe. At least if I were to guess.
Oh, that's tough to make me stop.
At the moment, yeah, this is a bit odd. BUNCLEBOI has not really been working with a lot of clean garbage, where a lot of players, especially for phase 1, we tend to see they'll have a little bit of garbage on their stack before going into zone, but they just, again, took so much of an authority on the offense department that they didn't really accept any garbage to begin with for much of the phase 1. Oh, BUNCLEBOI!
BUNCLEBOI!
Was looking for a way to put the eyepiece down. Oh, Star wants a curb sub. It's not going to be there, but still a 61 Ultimatress. And that earns another top out after, again, 2 zones and 2 wins for Star.
Yeah, oh my god.
And so honestly, I know we mentioned prior that like it was more kind of, oh, Star needs to have a good zone going into phase 3 and that's their win condition. Well, I guess if you zone well enough in phase 1, you don't even need to worry about phase 3 because the game just ends before you make it there. Ooh, BUNCLEBOI spending 2 T-pieces a little bit presumptuously, I'd say. Not too much of a fan of that decision, though. Alright, has managed to get a nice well transition over to that 7-2 stack. Star with a little bit more of a rough board to begin things, but able to at least kind of start the zone on a Tetris. BUNCLEBOI looking for the T-spin triple. Going to be able to include that in their zone, another very efficient method of getting that extra damage outputs. And Star at the moment trying to see what ways it can go for a very strong zone. Gets the 52 Ultimatress, but right now BUNCLEBOI gets the pole vault 52 on the Perfectress.
It's the same one, but
ooh, a little bit of a mistrip there for Star. That was him, but he's again able to recover, not without too much of a hassle, I'd say. So right now, BUNCLEBOI leads slightly in the points side, so they'll have the emphasis of when we shift into phase 3, unless something drastic happens between these two players. Alright, but we see 50,000 points on BUNCLEBOI's side going for a zone, so it will likely trigger a phase 3 by the time BUNCLEBOI is finished with this, and you can see kind of in response, Star setting up a zone, but does misdrop the STSD setup, which will cost a lot of their efficiency. 49 on the Perfectress.
Oh, 32.
Only 32 there for Star. Not going to be what they're looking for.
But at least it still survived that.
Alright, T-spin double there from Star. Oh, but running out of room. This drops the Z.
Stop the Z once. Oh, damn.
And interestingly enough, BUNCLEBOI didn't really outspeed Star in this context, just played a little bit more efficient, and I think the fact that Star wasn't able to capitalize as much on that last zone meant that they were able to, again, just kind of continue with that subtle advantage and just drag it out as long as needed. So BUNCLEBOI able to get on the board.
Oh, what is the setup problem? TSD.
No, it's STSD, yep. So 2 T-spin doubles.
4 T-spin doubles.
Alright, Star looking for the T-spin triple towards the bottom of their stack. Not sure if they're going to zone into it. Looks like no is the current verdict. Has a 8-0 stack to work with, which is a little bit awkward in some cases, but I guess if you're good on comboing through... Alright, actually, Star just going to use the combo to just do what the combo does and not much else at the moment. And has built up a 7-2 pattern stack as BUNCLEBOI getting dangerously close to Curb-Tris. Oh, misdrops the ulti.
Oh, it's not a curve twist. It's a perfect. That L misdrop.
Well, this is well, that's almost had potential, I think, for the ulti on Star's end, but just a little bit on the slower end. Gonna still maintain it for the 51 attack. Oh, Star looking for that SZ prop for the overhang, trying to keep things as clean as possible on these T-spins, as their score is climbing up very, very fast. And at the moment, this is still... Ooh, Star debating about accepting that, not going to take chances. Again, it would be phase 2 garbage, so still be relatively clean, but that would push their board up tremendously so and prevent them from being able to take advantage of a lot of their stack that they've already spent so long making. It's the 49 Perfectress instead, and although BUNCLEBOI has a decent bit of zone meter to work with, they have much less of a man-made stack.
I think now, okay. A bad zone. Oh! That was the drop from Puyo.
That is likely to be a top out, and yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
You can see
And
the DT cannon set up on Star's end, but it's still not gonna matter as they achieve a 3-1 lead. So right now, Star is currently sitting on match point against BUNCLEBOI as both players going into TKI to kick things off.
No.
And this is you know, I'm not really sure about this decision from Star, because this is a very early 4-wide, and for the most part, because garbage is all clean in phase 1, it doesn't really do a lot. And you can see as well, BUNCLEBOI is just kind of letting the garbage come in. They know exactly what column it's showing up in, and so there's not a lot of incentive or danger out of that initial 4-wide stack from Star.
That's not good for that opening for white right now. After all. Starting kick. Spin and turn on zone. 42, turn on zone.
Star looking for ways to finish the zone off.
Oh no!
Oh, it's a 40 zone attack. That is on the lower end for Star's usual zone attacks. You can see getting pushed up quite a bit.
That was the L misdrop. If that non misdrop, it would be a perfect Tetris.
Alright, again, Star having to rely on a couple of defensive zones now in lieu of all of those kind of early misdrops. But right now, BUNCLEBOI with half a zone meter kicks it into phase 3, but Star using the clean garbage will send the cheese over to BUNCLEBOI, and now Star is the one in the driver's seat. Alright, Star setting up a little bit of hamburger stacking, just getting those T-spin singles on the 9-0 stack. Alright, very good defensive zone there.
33.
Alright, Star right now does not have to counter too much, but has already gotten through a lot of the stack. Kind of answers right back on the BUNCLEBOI side of things, and BUNCLEBOI's going to have to rely on a quarter zone of defense, and this is not going to go well.
That's not going to go well because the zone is big, and GG from the board. Yeah.
And so Star will advance into loser semifinals with a solid 4-1 victory over BUNCLEBOI. And again, though BUNCLEBOI did have a little bit of the kind of a lucky bracket break with the D key from OSW in winners round 1, unfortunately they were still so